the same way in terms of the practices. If you're going to go and get ready for an actual season, you got to do a couple things to get in the games a little faster. International play, you got to jump stop a little bit more, play on the fly. It's a definite playing on the road. You got to be about 10 to 20 points better than teams you play and to be able to win. So you got to be smart. You got to take care of the basket, just like basketball here. So for us, we're just trying to get better. And I told them a lot of our guys don't know what they're doing. Obviously, some of our older guys do, but one thing you can always do is play hard. Just trying to get those guys to compete.
You have to lean on the Bird and Carroll and around you maybe at the beginning more than ever.
A little bit, yeah. Obviously, the guys that have the ball in their hand, right? You got to lean on. Sometimes that's an inexperienced guy for us. That's who has the ball in their hand. So our young guys are really going to get quite an experience. There's a guy like Ronnie Johnson going to have the ball, and it's a lot. But there's no doubt Bird really helps. Jerome's not doing full contact stuff yet, so he's not out there all the time. So, but once he does, so that'll really help.
Knee bottom.
Yes, yeah, same. It's been the same thing for him. And he actually hurt his hand, and so that's what he hurt about a month ago. So he broke a bone in his hand, so he's not doing contact stuff. But
ready to go over there, you think he'll play?
Yes, yeah. I would think he'd practice here in a couple weeks. So.
With your players now having new roles, now the old guard's kind of gone on, what have you learned about this team with the new players and with the old players?
Well, with the workouts that we're doing, we're trying to do a better job of establishing some post presence. We have a lot of size, but we also have a lot of experience in the post. So with those new guys, we're trying to get them incorporated. Obviously, Rayfield's a guy that can score the ball. Ronnie's a guy that can play the point and I think be a weapon for us. And then obviously AJ and then Jay bring us some more size. I'm just trying to get those guys to get a feel, and also trying to figure things out myself. Sometimes with the coach, going in with the answers to start with, an experienced team makes a whole lot of sense. Sometimes with an inexperienced team, just going in there and trying to figure some things out on the fly.
That's to make it for a busy month for the coaching staff. I know this month you're worried about the future, but you're also working with these guys here as well.
Right. Well, obviously with recruiting, you're out days we have off the practices, so just trying to help with it. I think the workouts are important. Being out there, being able to work out with ready for this practice.
Freshmen taking through it reasonably quickly, or their heads spinning?
I would say their heads spinning a little bit, just trying to get them to, anytime you're dealing with guys with size, trying to get them to do some things away from the basket, and obviously guards getting them to try to be able to play without the basketball and be able to defend, away from the basketball.
Now, what did you see a couple of years ago when the players went? What's the biggest thing you think the players get out of a trip like that? Is it just being able to play against the international competition, or also just kind of going overseas?
From a basketball standpoint, you're playing against bigger, stronger, players, older players. 4 years ago when we were in Australia, we played, guys, and we tried to explain to them it's what they do for a living. This is, they're in their late 20s, early 30s, and if they don't perform, they lose their job. And so it's serious to them, it's business-like, and they're very, very physical. And so it really helped us, really helped our team mature. But I think that's something when you come back from a trip like that, hopefully you have a lot of lessons learned. We were 2-3 on our trip, and we had a pretty good team, but we just weren't physical enough to compete against some of those groups.
With regards to Sandy, what has been his off-season goals to improve, or what has he been working on, and how has he done that?
He's done a good job. He's in good shape. Just getting him to play throughout the season and be injury-free, I think is going to be very important for him. But he's always been a guy who's done very well with the workout. Just trying to get him as much game experience on this trip, I think is going to be the telltale for him.
From a team-building standpoint, and just getting the guys to know each other better, how important is something like this?
Well, I think, we in our point guard position, we've had a guy there, or a couple guys there, for the past 4 or 5 years. I think that's important to get them used to playing with Ronnie Johnson and Jerome and Anthony, both kind of combo. And I think that feel is so important to have that experience of playing with a guy who's running your team. It just doesn't come overnight. So I would say that's something for this group get accustomed to, and get accustomed to playing with a little bit more size. We've played with some really good big guys. They've been different big guys than we have right now.
Same question with Lawson as with Sandy. What's he been working on? He's a guy with size, but also has athleticism. Right. He's been around.
Well, I think he got thrown into the fire last year, and it was difficult. We wanted to play a certain way, and he helped us in a sense. In another area, he was a little bit behind. I thought he was very good today in the first practice. So he brought a lot of energy, he played hard, was very aggressive. But we need him to use his athleticism and kind of transform that into energy. And I think if he does that, he'll be pretty productive.
You're going into the season center. You anticipate all three of those guys playing, or that just kind of have to shake out?
Well,
You like your options?
yeah, I like having options. I think they're going to decide who plays. And before we've been a little thin at that position, and now we have more guys there. So we're looking forward to that competition and those guys telling us who we should play.
He's obviously got all the 1 pre-Italy practice under his belt, but what kind of stuff do you like about him? Can he, impact things defensively for you, at least on paper?
Yeah, I think he could. It's still a long way away. He's got great size. He's got great feel. Like most big guys, he's going to have to get into shape. If he can get into shape and learn to concentrate and play through some fatigue, I think he's got a chance to be a very good player.
Who's impressed you so far?
I thought Jacob had a very good practice. DJ has got an advantage because of his experience and he understands what's going on. But I thought the one guy that probably jumped out the first day was Jacob.